Not long ago, the 737 MAX was seen as a plane no one would trust again. Now, airlines are rushing to buy it. Orders are rising fast, and the same companies that stepped back are coming back in. So what changed so quickly, and why are they betting big again? The real reason is not what most people think. Stay till the end. Just 5 years ago, the Boeing 737 MAX looked finished. Two tragic crashes took 346 lives. The aircraft was grounded worldwide for nearly 2 years, and regulators placed it under intense scrutiny. Many believed it would never fully recover its reputation. But in 2026, the picture looks very different. Major U.S. airlines are placing large new orders. Boeing has built a backlog of more than 4,700 MAX aircraft, and the FAA has allowed production to increase from 38 to 42 jets per month. What once seemed like a failure is now being called one of the biggest turnarounds in aviation. So what changed behind the scenes? Why did airlines reverse their decisions and return to the same aircraft they once avoided? The first reason comes down to perfect timing. U.S. airlines are facing what industry experts call the Great Fleet Replacement Wave. Walk through any major airport today and look at the planes parked at the gates. A huge portion of those aircraft rolling down American runways were built in the early to mid-2000s. These Boeing 737-800s and Airbus A319s have served airlines faithfully for 2 decades, but they're approaching a critical transition point. Older aircraft require increasingly expensive maintenance checks every few years. The engines burn more fuel than modern designs. The interiors look dated compared to what passengers expect in 2026. Most importantly, airlines know these jets will become less profitable every year they keep them in service. The 737 MAX arrives at exactly the right moment in this replacement cycle. Lessors are already planning to retire up to 300 next-generation 737s per year by the end of the decade. For airlines operating hundreds of these older Boeing jets, transitioning to the MAX family makes operational sense. The pilots already know how to fly Boeing aircraft. The maintenance crews understand Boeing systems. The spare parts inventory doesn't need to be completely rebuilt. Alaska Airlines perfectly illustrates this strategy. The Seattle-based carrier operates one of the most streamlined fleets in the industry, with almost nothing but Boeing 737s across their entire network. When they announced the largest airplane order in company history earlier this year, committing to dozens of additional 737 MAX 10 aircraft, they weren't just buying planes. They were doubling down on operational simplicity. Fleet commonality delivers real cost savings. When every pilot can fly every aircraft in your fleet, scheduling becomes easier. When every mechanic knows the same systems, training costs drop. When you only need one type of spare part inventory, warehouses become more efficient. For Alaska, the MAX represents the natural evolution of a strategy they've perfected over decades. The second driving force is fuel efficiency, and the numbers are more dramatic than most people realize. Fuel consistently ranks as one of the largest expenses in any airline's budget, often representing 20 to 30% of total operating costs. Even small percentage improvements matter enormously when multiplied across thousands of daily flights. The 737 MAX delivers meaningful fuel burn reductions compared to the aircraft it replaces, thanks primarily to its CFM LEAP engines and advanced winglet design. On high-frequency domestic routes, between cities like New York and Chicago, those savings accumulate quickly. An airline operating 50 flights per day on routes like these can save millions annually just from improved fuel efficiency. The MAX also offers lower maintenance costs per flight hour, reduced training expenses for pilots already certified on earlier 737 models, and higher passenger capacity in some configurations. When airline financial teams run 20-year cost projections, these operational improvements create compelling business cases for fleet renewal. The third factor involves delivery timing and strategic positioning. The global aerospace supply chain remains under pressure following disruptions that began during the pandemic and continue today. Boeing is now producing 42 737s per month, while Airbus production lines are heavily booked years into the future. Airlines aren't just buying aircraft performance anymore. They're securing delivery slots that have become strategic assets. An airline that needs additional capacity in 2027 or 2028 must make decisions today based on realistic production timelines. Waiting too long means waiting even longer, potentially until the early 2030s for some aircraft types. This scarcity mindset is driving some unexpected behavior. Delta Air Lines, which had leaned heavily toward Airbus in recent years, surprised the industry by ordering the 737 MAX 10 with expected deliveries starting in 2026. Delta's decision signals that even airlines with strong Airbus relationships are hedging their bets when delivery positions become available. The competitive dynamics with Airbus provide the fourth key factor. For years, the narrative suggested that Airbus had gained decisive advantages over Boeing in the narrow-body market. The A321neo in particular carved out dominance in the high-capacity, long-range segment that Boeing struggled to match effectively. However, the competitive landscape looks different in 2026. Both Boeing and Airbus have dealt with quality control issues and delivery delays, while Airbus has been hit hard by problems with the Pratt & Whitney PW1000G engine. Airlines have learned that putting all their eggs in one manufacturer's basket creates risk. The lesson that operators have learned is that dual sourcing, at least for large airlines, is a safer strategy. Major carriers want options. They want leverage in negotiations. They want backup plans if one manufacturer faces production issues or supply chain problems. American Airlines, Delta, and United all operate mixed fleets today, with both Boeing and Airbus aircraft serving different route types and operational requirements. This approach provides flexibility during disruptions and prevents any single supplier relationship from becoming too dominant. The numbers tell the story of this remarkable turnaround. In the first 9 months of 2025, Boeing delivered 440 airplanes, compared with 568 in the same period of 2018, before the crashes changed everything. The company has already exceeded its total deliveries for the entire year of 2024, indicating a strong recovery in production this year. Recent deliveries included aircraft to European budget carrier Ryanair, which took 10, as well as Southwest Airlines, United Airlines, China Southern, and leasing firm AerCap. The customer base extends far beyond the United States, but American carriers are leading the resurgence. Lesser orders for the 737 MAX now account for nearly 1/4 of the total order book for the airplane family. Leasing companies like Macquarie Air Finance, which expanded its 737 MAX portfolio to 70 aircraft, and BOC Aviation, which ordered 50 additional 737-8 jets, expanding their MAX portfolio to 215 aircraft, are betting heavily on continued airline demand. These aren't impulse purchases. Boeing's 2025 commercial market outlook forecasts that 33,000 new single-aisle airplanes will be needed over the next 20 years to replace older models and meet air traffic growth. The MAX orders represent positioning for this massive fleet renewal phase. However, risks remain that could slow this momentum. Both Boeing and Spirit AeroSystems have faced component shortages and rework delays, which have been closely monitored by the FAA since 2024. While the production increase could help improve Boeing's cash flow, sustained recovery will depend on supplier performance and the company's ability to maintain quality under higher rates. For now, the orders keep coming, the production lines keep humming, and the aircraft that many observers counted out just a few years ago is flying higher than ever. In the competitive world of commercial aviation, that might be the most surprising comeback story of all.